And let's see, rolling tape. We're just gonna make this, real casual, like
casual, just like I was really here, right?
just as if you actually came here in person. I recorded this.
This is about the 5th time I've been here. Yeah, that's good. We'll start out with that.
What a way to start. Hi. Yeah. IDs. Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. And last minute prompting over the telephone here.
Yeah, the program director's on your case, huh?
Oh no, he's across the street.
In the bar.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
That's where we should keep program directors, is in the bar. That's where they do the best work.
That's what they do in England. They do. It's really amazing. We did I don't know if I should tell him this. I'll probably blow it for everybody, huh? In England, when you finally make the top 30, right, you have to be on Top of the Pops, which is
on the TV show.
On the TV show,
Yeah.
Top of the Pops, and it's if you don't show up, they show a videotape or something, or there's something, or they will. Anyway, it's everybody watches it, so it's a big deal, right? So we were on prime time and got up near the top 20, and so we were going to be on the show, right? And only thing was that the rules said that the BBC, I don't know if it was government rules, union rules, BBC, whatever, the rules, the Queen's rules.
Somebody's rules.
It said that you couldn't, if you appeared live on BBC, you couldn't have them play your single as the soundtrack. While,
You could lip sync.
Yeah, you lip synced the single, but the single that they played on the radio couldn't be the single that you already had pressed in a disc and released by a record company. You had to re-record it in a BBC studio with BBC employees.
Oh,
right? So you were on tour and you had one day off.
And you had to go
do
into
BBC,
reproduce an entire.
and you had to go into the studio and reproduce your single in one day. Not only one day, 3 hours. You could only get a little bit of time. There's very few studios. Well, there's a lot of studios, but the one you have to use, you could only get 3 hours in, right?
So this was some sort of union type of.
Yeah, some sort of union deal where the BBC made you re-record the track in a BBC studio. Only the thing is that the BBC guy, everybody knows this is a giant pain in the ass, because, it's practically impossible. For all intents and purposes, it is impossible for especially a group like us, a 7-piece group. Maybe somebody else, 3-piece group could do it or something, but.
Or just a guy in his guitar.
Yeah,
Dog
John Fahey or
something.
somebody, or John Prine maybe, but. All the bands know this, you see, and it's they've got the whole scam. You don't have to do it. It's a scam. There's a big fat BBC guy sitting in the studio, and you have to go through the motions, right? You have to unload all of your shit. The equipment guys hate this. They hate it, because it's a total shuck. You have to unload all your shit, set it all up, put up all the microphones. Everybody get in there and run through it a few times, and I get in there and sing it a couple of times. And how's it going in there? Real good. And the guys got the tape. The guys got the tape over here, and what you have done previous to this is you take your single, you see, and you put it on a 2-track tape, and you have this in your pocket, right? And one of the guys, a crew guy or somebody or a roadie or a road manager or a record guy even, like, or a promo man or something, he'll kind of get chummy with the BBC guy sitting there, and I'll go, what do you say we go get a drink? These guys look like they're doing real good here. Yeah, should be no sweat. And the guy goes, sure, anybody, you tell it off, you offer an Englishman a drink, you won't get turned down. And so he gets up, then the guy gets up, and they go out the door. And we all put our shit down, walk out of the room, take the tape off the machine, take our tape, put it on the machine, and sit down.
That's it.
And that's it. And the guy comes back and we go, here it is.
Moving right along. These big gaps in the middle, we'll play some records in there. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, good idea.
Play some records
Good
in
idea.
between the gaps. So you are finishing up your touring for a while, I guess.
Well, we just actually the tour ended when we came back from Japan in end of September.
Yeah.
And then
you're
we did
playing
some,
a few of the small gigs, like the
yeah, we're just
Roxy
doing some
and
small gigs to try out new songs.
going down to San Diego and
Yeah,
playing the Catamaran down there, which is
Catamaran.
a small little rowdy club. That's
I've
crazy.
never been there. I heard it's a real.
Yeah,
It's a real-
it's not as formal as the Roxy. Let's put
Yeah,
it that way.
yeah, let's put
The
it
Roxy
that way.
has this stigma of being
Well,
the,
we,
the formal club of the rock and roll club.
We
in
started the tour out in a hall kind of like that in Sacramento called the Oasis Lounge, or the Oasis Ballroom or something. Boy, it was hurting. It was kind of in the across the tracks section of Sacramento, and they got real rowdy there. No dressing room. We were in a Winnebago, frozen solid.
a motorhome.
It was about 30 degrees. Oh man. So I lost my voice, and we ended up canceling the third night of the tour the fourth night of the tour because I lost my voice because I got sick. Bill's still sick from being frozen stiff inside the trailer with your sweaty clothes on, Great.
Do you find coordination a hard factor with 7 people rather than, I know a 4-person group has a hard enough time to coordinate all the individuals,
Yeah.
make sure everybody's well at the same time and all their heads are going in the same direction and that type of thing?
That's virtually impossible.
Yeah.
We
Is
are
it
all constantly going the opposite direction.
a lot more of a circus with 7 people involved then?
Oh yeah. On the stage, it's different. I mean, off the stage, you never can tell what's going to happen. But on the stage, everybody knows what's happening because we've just played together a long time. It's been 7 years. We've been together.
7 years and 5 albums?
Yeah. Actually, 6 albums counting. There was 2 in the fourth one.
Yeah,
2
that's right. That was a double album set.
Yeah.
The live
But
album.
so we've played a long time
Yeah.
together. Everybody knows what's happening, and we've pretty much learned a lot. After all that time, it's good. Huh? That's good. Yep, we learned to not all play at the same time all the time.
And not to bump together when you're going that way and somebody else is. How much? I know not as much with the Roxy dates and things like that because you didn't have the full on production, obviously. But
Yeah.
how much do you have like a full time choreographer type person hired to go
well,
through the moves? And
He's not full time anymore. Now he's a big deal movie choreographer down here in Hollywood. His name's Kenny Ortega, and he just did this movie here, Xanadu, which the Tubes appeared in, and the movie's going to be out next summer, August 8th, next year.
Yeah.
This year, no,
This year.
oh yeah, Happy New Year.
catches up on you. So
Right,
were
and
you
so,
playing in the movie? What were you doing in the movie?
Yeah, we were playing in the movie. It stars Olivia Newton-John, and Olivia and I are on a duet single. You're going to love it. I know you're going to love it. I know you guys are going to play it a lot. It's called Dancin'.
Oh, right up our alley.
Oh yeah,
Right up our alley.
it's really hot. Actually, it's pretty good, and it's kind of a fantasy scene in the movie where Michael Beck is also in it, and Gene Kelly, right?
Boy.
And Michael Beck, remember the guy from the Warriors,
Oh,
the
yeah.
tough guy, and
Yeah.
he's cool. Now he's a nice guy.
Oh, he's not
a
as
romantic.
hardcore anymore.
Yeah, he's going for Olivia or something, and or something. I mean, he's going for Olivia, and. So he has a fantasy, and Gene Kelly has a fantasy about their favorite music, and Gene Kelly's fantasies is the 40s Glenn Miller type swing band with these 40s dancers, and his fantasy is the 80s heavy metal rockers, right, which are us, and with these slick suits on, boy, they're really cool. Made by Universal, boy. Just make them up overnight.
Real slick.
Wham! There you go, boy.
Yeah,
And
spray
they're,
paint them on.
Can we
almost.
have these? Sorry, kid.
Yeah.
And,
Try to sneak them out in a little bag or something.
Right. And it was great. It worked out real great. And Kenny choreographed the entire thing, the whole movie, all the dancers. There was about 80 people total. And there's a gigantic finale thing where the whole 40s and 80s merge together, and all the wacko dancers and all the bobby socks and zoot suit dancers of the 40s all merge, and they all go wild,
Wow.
And then ta-da, the big finish, and the stages move together, and oh God, it's unbelievable. And we just saw it on the film, and we're just stunned, Jeez, I can't believe it, It's like $15 million movie, it's a big deal, and they're going to throw a lot of dough into the promo. And Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John, it's a big deal.
Yeah. And coming up, that's going to be August.
Yeah, August 8th. And
quite a few months away.
So that's really good. The 80s look real good for us.
Yeah, motion pictures,
Hey,
this is the big time.
That's big time, boy, really. So that was in October, and since then, in November and December, we began writing some songs.
Mm-hmm.
And
no Live from Budokan album coming in?
No, we didn't play Budokan in Japan. We played this You've Been Choking. Actually, it was You've Been Choking or something. Well, it was, we were choking, too. I choked the manager during the set. Oh, God, that was horrible.
So did you find a big communications problem when you went over there? Are they pretty Americanized at this point?
Well, they are Americanized.
You can go and eat at McDonald's.
Yeah, they got a lot of McDonald's, a lot of them. The kids are very Americanized, but that doesn't mean they're on the surface they're American, but subliminally they're totally Japanese, and you don't, it's hard to cut through. It's real difficult to get through to them. You got to get it real simple and real direct, concise, to the point, and they'll do whatever you want. Once they figure out what you want, they'll do it, just to the letter, And when we told them to all stand up and come down to the front, it didn't matter how many security guards were there, because they just kept on coming, and they were just like just gone, They just couldn't believe us when we went there. They just were stunned. They were totally stunned, and we did a whole bunch of old stuff that we hadn't done in years, Just some really old ones, like Space Baby. We hadn't done Space Baby forever, and we did it just to blow their mind, And
how about El Paso?
No, we didn't do any Cowboy Fee. We didn't do El Paso or any of that. That's too far back. But they went nuts. It was incredible. We had a fabulous trip. We sold every Tubes record in Japan. They had to crank up the
Cleaned
plant.
out the country.
We cleaned them out. They have to crank the plant up now and press a bunch more up.
Try and find the masters.
Yeah, try and find the masters. So it was real good. God, it was great. We're going to go back. We're going to, sometime in like April 17th or something, we're going to England and starting off in the European tour this time, instead of going.
Are you going to do some big halls, or are you going to stay with the small club?
Well, we're kind of getting into classy halls, We played in London last time. We played the Hammersmith Odeon, which is not bad, but it's been beat to death. It's all rock and roll every day, and it holds about 5,000 or 6,000, right? Or it's more than that. Something like that. Maybe less than 5,000, I don't know. Around there. And this time we're going to play the Dominion Theater, which is this gorgeous, classy place that's only 2,900, It's smaller, but it's real cool. So actually, we play larger halls most of the time now.
So
except for in special situations, like here, Hollywood, New York, or London, or San Francisco.
We were sitting around here the other day just talking and saying, now, how many nights in a row did you sell out the Roxy? You could, if you played there for a month, you'd sell it out every night.
Well, I don't know about a month. Mario said 2 weeks. We could do 2 weeks. We played 6. We sold out 12 shows. And it was great, man. A lot of people came over and over again. A lot of people.
Yeah.
And
you also have the hardcore cult following.
Yes, sir. We had hardcore. Boy, Brandon's out there. He came every night. This kid came every night. I mean, he got there every day after work, sat there from like 5 o'clock. So he was the first guy in line. Got there every night and got in the front table every night.
Wow.
Every show, right? Not every night, every show, 12 shows. And he would request Boy Crazy every night. And we were taking, what we were doing was we had a ballot, and you voted for 1 favorite Tube song.
Right. There was a
And
lot
then we
of
counted
that
the
were voted
ballots.
for that you said you hadn't done in years. And years
Yeah,
and years.
Boy Crazy. We did fine. He kept voting for Boy Crazy, and it never got enough votes. The winners were usually
So you
remote
should know.
control
Right.
songs.
What are the 5 most popular Tube songs according to the survey? Did you do that every night?
Yeah, we did it every night. And it changed a little, but most of the time a couple of songs from Remote Control were on it, like No Way Out or TV is King or Teleside. And Strong Survive was winner a couple of times. I Was a Punk, Before You Were a Punk,
Right,
was a
that's-
winner a lot of times. What Do You Want From Life was a winner all the time.
White Punks on Dope.
Well, White Punks, we had at the top, it said White Punks is in the set already, you know, and we're
So
tired
don't
of
worry
trying to
about it.
fool people, you know. Everybody knows we're going to play it. We have never not played it, except once, and at a Rush concert.
Oh boy,
We were ready.
what
Let's
a
go, guys. Let's not
cross section of
stuff at
audience
us.
I would think for something like that.
Yeah, Rush, boy. And so Mondo Bondage was the #1 song every show.
Yeah, that's been the most requested in the past 2 weeks. Of course, the requests for Tube songs are up quite a bit, you know. And Mondo Bondage, I'd say that's probably #1 according
I don't believe
to
it,
the
boy.
morning telephones here.
Play in the morning, God. How can you listen to it in the morning?
It's like you were saying.
Wake
it's
up,
Hollywood.
baby. It's Mondo Bondage is on the radio.
Lean over and say, "Hey, baby, good morning."
Oh, boy.
You play the live version or the...
We've done both, definitely.
Great. Well, we quit playing it for a long time. Most of the whole remote control tour, we didn't play it. And people would scream at the whole set, you know. It was like White Punks or something. So.
Who did the graphics for that album cover? That's got to be one
Mike.
of the most
Mike and Prairie.
original album covers. That was fantastic. That really
A
knocked
lot of
me
people
out the
helped,
first
you
time I
know.
saw
Everybody
that.
at our management company helped, and Matt helped, and Jeff Aroff at A&M helped, but Mike and Prairie came up with the concept,
Yeah,
you know.
I've got so many friends that say, "I've got a TV that looks just like that." You know?
Yeah, where did
Little
where did we get that
round
TV?
dome
We got it from Bullock's or something like that.
Yeah, we just went and bought one. And then we made it
then
hook
we
onto the
bought
little
the
baby
seat.
car seat.
Right.
We kind of carved it up a little
You
bit.
know,
but-
it's fiberglass molding and stuff. We had a kid in the shop do it.
He didn't actually build the whole Hollywood Squares set, did you?
No, we used the real one.
The real one over
Yeah.
in Burbank.
Yeah, we just went over there.
Go and kick Paul Lynn out of his box and shot him.
We did, and then we finally got to go back and do the show. You know, a while ago we were on with. It was supposed to be the rock and roll show, right?
Mhm.
They had 6 shows they were filming the night we were there. One of them was the oldies show with Little Richard Little Anthony, not Little Richard, and Paul Anka and Dick Clark in the middle, and and our show, and then there was a all kind of soul show, you know, with Peaches and Herb and
Michael Jackson.
Was it Michael Jackson? Somebody like that. Commodores or something. And then there was supposed to be a rock and roll show, and so on the rock and roll show was Seals and Croft, England Dan and John Ford
Hardcore.
Coley, John Stewart, Maureen McGovern.
And Black Sabbath.
No, Black Sabbath.
Marshall Tucker.
Oh, Marshall Tucker
That's a little
and
closer.
Elvin Bishop. That's getting closer.
Yeah.
And
Moving up.
the Tubes. And I think that
How many of you did you try to fit in
Just
one of
3.
those little...
Well, we drew. That was a real controversy, I'll tell you. I was automatically in it.
Right.
You know,
You had no choice.
I said, "Well, I get to go. You know that I get to go." And so everybody else wanted to go. First, they said, "No, you can go. I don't care." And then everybody went, "Hey, I think I want to go." And they went, "No, man, you said I could go. Forget it." And so we ended up having to
Draw
draw
straws or
ballots.
something.
Yeah, we drew. Everybody wrote their name on the ballot, put it in the hat.
I talked to Cheech and Chong the night after they taped the show. They came down here for an interview right before the Up in Smoke movie came out.
Yeah.
And they said that just going down and doing that show with the regular people, trying to remember
George
the
Goebel and
George Goebel
Goebel.
and all these
Oh,
people,
yeah.
you know,
Oh,
that
man.
they had a year's worth of material. You know, you go and shake hands with George Goebel and hold him up, you know, and stuff like that. That the people are crazy that do that. The regulars that are just there
Yeah.
all the time, and that's what
What's
they do.
the
Is
guy's
that
name
show.
with the funny voices?
John Biner.
Yeah,
John Biner.
Biner.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, I think they're all a bunch of lushes probably.
Yeah.
They're gone, boy. They're
around
Yeah.
there.
Well, they go and they tape like Monday through Wednesday, and then they break for dinner.
yeah.
And Thursday and Friday shows are always the crazy ones, you know, because
Right,
they've had a
after
chance to
dinner.
get out of the building for a little bit and
That's the
partake
that's the
of
way we did
whatever
it,
and come
too.
back and tape the last two shows. So I guess Thursday and Friday are always supposed to be the loosest shows.
It was a lot of fun. I want to do it again.
So
We're working for Rock and Roll Family Feud.
Oh, that would be great with Richard Dawson.
Yeah, and it'd be like the Tubes versus the Eagles or something. You know?
They let us go for some reason. I don't know.
Son of a gun.
So you're on your way to Arizona,
Yeah, we're gonna go to Tucson,
visit the relatives.
Phoenix, visit our folks, and then we're gonna go to San Diego and play the Catamaran. Then we're gonna go back to San Francisco and make up the show that we canceled, plus one more show
Up at
in the Old Waldorf. We're playing at the Old Waldorf in San Francisco on next Monday and Tuesday, and then and then the tour is over. We're
Then
just
you're
doing
finished
30
for a
shows. Well, then we have to go in the studio.
right. Are you going to record up there or down here, or do you know exactly? Yet?
Yeah, well, we've been recording right along, but we've been just doing these shows, but we don't know where we're going to record the album yet. We can't decide, and
Do you have a lot of stuff? I know you performed 5 songs.
we played what in the set? You mean?
Right.
Well, that was old songs, 5 old songs. But during the set, we played like 7 new songs.
7 new ones?
6 or 7. We played 6 most of the time, but there was another one we kept switching around. And we have a whole bunch
Beaming in
more.
from outside. It's
Hey,
coming
go,
into the
baby, go.
vents. You can't get away.
we actually have about 18 songs that we're trying to cull down, which is real good for us. You know, we have that many songs to pick from.
Well, it's
But
always
we
nice to
couldn't
have
learn
more
them all.
material than what than what you
Oh,
can use.
great.
so
Yeah,
you
it's
can
great.
Really polish and perfect.
Yeah, it's great. So we have to go back and finish working on the rest of those songs, and then decide about a producer, and decide where we're going to do the album, and then.
Now, last time you were here, you talked quite a bit about working with Todd and
Yeah.
what it was like, and how much influence. I mean, if you take any number of albums that Todd's done in the past year, you can hear that sound to it. Whether you take not as much.
We
in the
learned a
Pa-
lot from him. There's no doubt
Not as
about
much
it.
in the Patti Smith album, but a lot of the things he's done recently, at least produced for other
Yeah.
people, you can listen and hear that. And your album definitely reflected.
Yeah, definitely.
Remote Control definitely reflected the Todd way of arranging and producing, and the sound was there.
Yeah. Well, we did learn a lot from him. I think we learned a lot about putting things together. And it helped us this time writing new tunes. It helped us a lot. We've been not so indulgent. But we're not going to use Todd again this time because we have to do it. We want to co-produce, and we don't want to delegate the entire thing to
Right,
this
because
guy who's just going to tell
he
you
goes
what's
and he
happening.
takes over, and you stand there and you stand there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It becomes he's the boss.
And you wanna
it's,
have more
then
of a-
he's responsible, and if it's a stinker, everybody goes, "Oh man, that guy really screwed us, man." Wow. That's I'm sick of that.
Yeah.
So we
But
want
you want to have more of
we wanna
fingers
be-
in the pie, so to
Yeah,
speak, in
oh,
the production of
definitely.
the album.
I
Are you
think-
going to go for a name producer? Do you know, or are you going to?
Well, we not really. Name producers charge a lot of money.
Yeah,
See?
that's true.
And they want a lot of your royalties, and they're not usually interested in co-producing because they've got their style and their sound and
Right. Well,
their
they've
scene,
spent so long getting
yeah.
things down.
Yeah, right. So we actually we worked with a guy named Pete Henderson on our live album, and since then he has you know, got a couple of Grammys and had the largest selling record in 1979 practically. I think it was actually. Supertramp was.
Oh yeah.
I think it was.
Did real well.
Real well.
Real well. Did you see
and
the,
he did
the
Wings at the Speed of Sound, and you know, got a Grammy for that too. And we worked with him before this on our live album and got along real well with the guy, you know. And he's just an amazing engineer, and he's real easy to work with. And we think he'll agree to go for a co-producing thing, you know. And he'll do everything. He'll do the engineer, he'll do the co-producing, he'll do it all. There won't be anybody else, just us and him. And that really, you know, that'd be really great.
How much the technical do you really get into? Do you
Too much.
Too much?
Too much. We get into more stuff than we know what we're doing most of the time. But that's where he's great. You know, you say what it is you want, and he turns the knobs, and there it is. He's incredible. He can do anything, you know. So he's a possibility. There's other possibilities too, you know, and it comes down to a lot of things, availability, and you know, what they've done in the past. You know, it's real complicated, and we mainly have discussions with our managers about it, you know, and talk about it, call these people on the phone, talk.
There's a big negotiation.
Yeah, it's a negotiation period for a while. Everybody dickers with points and with, you know, how it's going to go, where, what studio, you know, where it's going to be mixed.
More
you know.
complicated.
I can't go up there and work, you know. Well, I can't go to L.A. to work, and everybody wants to go to the Caribbean, but they have no TV there. And so, you know, it always happens that way, and then it gets down to where, oh God, we've only got 5 weeks to go. We gotta, and then everything happens just like that. Bam, you're in the studio every day, all day long until it's done. You know, and then you're done. Then you got to learn all those songs again that you just changed completely in the studio.
Yeah, you spent 4 or 5 months, you know, perfecting songs and things like that.
Sure,
then you go and make them sound different on the record. Then you got to match the live to sound the record, you know, or the. Boy.
It's fun though.
And this is the way you chose to make a living.
That's right.
Yeah.
I did. It's a lot of fun. We're having a real good time. Things are kind of on the upswing for us right now. Everything's moving right along.
Was Remote Control your best-selling album?
Yes.
Sure, it probably was, because the commercial acceptance of the tubes.
Even though we got nailed again, right as we released Remote Control, the entire industry went into a recession. It was unreal. And people stopped buying records in large groups. And
it must have been incredible to start hearing some of your songs on Top 40 radio.
Yeah,
really heard
that was
those.
the thing. We got we got more airplay than we were in some. I don't know if this is accurate. And somebody said we were in the top 20 albums of the year, airplay wise.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
And we just got airplay for a week on a week on a week, and the album just dove into the charts, you know, and down. It got pretty high, and then it went. And they still played it, and they still played it for like 12 weeks, 13 weeks, and we couldn't believe it.
We're still playing it.
That's amazing.
There's Prime Time was the first single on the album. Was No Way Out released as the second single?
I don't know. I get really
confused.
I don't know what happens when the singles happen, you know, because none of them ever make it, so, you know.
Prime Time did well enough on the
Well, it did pretty well on AM radio. I mean, we were all pretty surprised.
Because it isn't being played on AM or a top 40 station, basically, when you can finally say, commercial acceptance, here we are, we're being accepted by the masses on the general marketplace.
You can say that after you get to where they play you every 5 minutes, like Fleetwood Mac. It really helps. It really helps a lot, and it hopefully will keep that door open for this next time, you know.
Do you sit and get analytical to the point where you look at the types of audiences that are coming out to see your show? Try to look at the age groups and the mind types and the.
We've been that's another good thing we've been noticing is that our our average age is dropping. A lot of younger people, than before. It used to be, it was the tubes are real avant-garde weirdo hipsters, and only cool people who were really intellectual and knew what was happening could understand what they were trying to do. At least it seemed like that to us. Of course, I'm not very objective, but now it seems we get a lot of younger people a lot more now than we used to. I think remote control really helped that too.
Right. That was more of a dive into the more commercial sound rather than some of the radical. Will you accept that word?
I'll accept radical.
Radical things
obscure.
Like what do you want from life or something like that? Is a little different. It's not exactly your mainstream type of sound. White Punks on Dope isn't exactly your main. Mondo Bondage, perfect example. Not exactly your.
Not exactly.
Easily accessible type sounds.
No.
And you went for more of a commercial sound with remote control. And
that was the idea.
Is that the direction you're going to head with the one that you're?
Well, we figured if we did that and got the door open, just got our foot in the door of AM commercial environment, the next time we could put a little more of us back in. We could come back just
back to the left.
Right.
Yeah.
Take a couple of steps up and then take a step back and still get in the door.
It's like Frank Zappa puts out a Dancing Fool and it's a top 40 hit and this and that, and then he comes up with Joe's Garage that's totally, out somewhere else.
Titties and beer.
Yeah, and he can go ahead and do something obscure like that. And I guess he thinks that once he's got the commercial acceptance with Dancing Fool, just on the reputation, he's going to go ahead. And,
I think he takes like one large step back and then 30 forward and 30 steps back sometimes. I think he's pretty extreme. I don't think you can be that extreme. We're trying not to be so extreme by writing, we even have a couple of songs about girls and stuff, and how can you love a girl like that? Couples. And they relate, man, they relate. They sit there and they grab their girlfriend at the gig, and it's great. I love it. They go, baby, they're singing about you, baby.
That's you. They
wrote that
it's
so
song
much
for you.
fun. I had a great time. That's why we love playing at the Roxy, It's great. I can
you get
see
the
almost
audience contact.
Yeah, they're right there. I can see about half of them at least. I can see their faces, and, it's real neat.
Did you record every night while you were there? I know you were recording Wednesday night.
Yeah, we did.
Is that just for your own reference? Or?
Yeah. It's like review. We listen, and see things, how things change and how they improve. And we've changed the arrangements to 2 or 3 things, and played them different ways. And listen back, see which one's got better response.
What a way to meter audience reaction, get it on tape, and you know exactly.
Sure, there you go.
Sit and look at the VU meter and see how much
exactly. It works, I mean, we've done that before,
Hi.
Hi. Both this, if I can with this.
Okay.
Oh, you're rolling tape?
Yeah, that's okay.
I thought you
Most of the people that are on staff here now weren't around the last time you were here, and I keep trying to tell them about pervert control.
That's it, pervert control.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Relating the story. That was crazy day at the radio station.
That was it. I was trying to relate that story to someone just last night. I was trying to relate the whole story of pervert control, and they just couldn't believe it. What?
On the radio in Los Angeles? Yeah, sure.
What? Pervert control? You'll probably get some pervert control calls when you play this interview, man.
Yeah.
I won't be here to breathe heavy. Yeah, it was unreal.
People at the
Back door and
concert?
say pervert control.
Yeah, that was before the Greek.
Yeah, it was before the
It
Greek.
was at Royce Hall last year.
Yeah. And audience reactions, things like that.
It was neat. It was real neat. Well, we'll come back, Heck, we'll probably be back. We're trying to decide where to play next time. We know when we'll be back. We'll be back when
the next album.
After the album is out.
But do you have a tentative release or anything from A&M at this point? I assume it's going to be A&M, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It says I'd
They're
line
not
up
letting
there,
go of
yeah.
us, boy.
Yeah.
No siree.
Month or general idea. End of the year.
No, it's kind of, and we're going to the studio, man, in February, in the beginning of February, and the end of February, we'll be done.
So maybe
So,
March or April.
Yes, hopefully towards the end of March or something like that,
Beginning
like the
of
same
April,
time as
somewhere
last
around
year.
there.
Springtime.
Springtime. It's springtime for records.
Springtime for tubes. Springtime for tubes. Did you ever see The Producers? I'm sure you
Yes,
did. Everybody saw it.
definitely.
We won't go into that again. That's old.
So when is the England trip scheduled?
It's supposed to be April 16th. We're going to go there just before the album comes out, and it's kind of a different market for us there. We're so huge there that we don't have to go there strictly to support an album, you know. Like in the USA, it works much better if you get your album out,
Right,
get them
go
all
on an album
happening,
support
you know,
tour.
then go out and support it. In England, forget it. Doesn't matter. It's sold out. It doesn't matter where we play. We just go over there, and we'll sell every seat that we decide to play. And that's the whole thing, you know. They want us to play 30 shows or something unbelievable, and we go, no, take them on. You know.
No.
3 weeks, no, give us a break here. And so that's why we're saying we're going to play a real classy place and not play every little town in England.
Yeah, that would be.
We played almost all of them already.
That would
So
take
we're
a
going to go
while.
there, I think, tentatively April 16th or something, and then go on to Scandinavia and all over Europe, and then take a couple of weeks off in Portugal, which is one of our favorite news. Portugal, we are huge. The place went nuts when we played there, completely crazy. We played a hall that was about 10,000, and about 20,000 people showed up there. And they couldn't get in, and it was real weird, and all the people inside broke out all the windows of the entire building, and all the people crawled in the windows. Security just gave up. It was,
Oh man.
and they just crammed in there like they were in a sardine can, boy, and went nuts, just went nuts. It just was crazy. We had no idea. Portugal, and here they told us our remote control was number 2 in Portugal, and that we were the only American rock and roll band that's ever played there since Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh Lord, that's been a while back.
Whoa.
That's been more than a
And
while
we just
back.
went, what? They went, well, we have English rock groups. Sometimes Genesis and the Stranglers have been there, but nothing
No
from
American
America
groups?
since Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And they went crazy. They went totally crazy. So we're going back, you know.
Yeah.
We're going to play a bunch of shows this time. We're going to play 4 shows in Portugal and then take 2 weeks off and on the beach, you know. It is, and it's cheap. It's unreal. It's like Spain's getting fairly expensive by now, but Portugal is like, you know, Spain 10 years ago or something. Just dirt cheap. Everything's cheap. Food is cheap. Clothes are cheap. The hotels are cheap. Boats are cheap. Beaches are free.
Yeah, but
It's really neat.
recreation there, things like that. Probably.
We try and tour, you know, for like 6 weeks, and then our new plan is tour for 6 weeks, break for 2, and tour for 6, break for 2.
And after the European, you'll be back to tour
Oh,
on
yeah.
the album that you'll supposedly
Yeah, then by the
have
time
out
we-
by then.
By the time that'll be happening, we'll go from Portugal to New York.
Just sort of
And
segue
work-
over and hit the States.
Right, hit the States, do all the biggies on the East Coast, big halls in Buffalo and New York and Philadelphia and Boston and Allentown. And,
Then the movie will be out
then,
shortly after that.
soon the movie will be happening. And we're going to do the entire United States this time. We're going to go all the way down the East Coast to Florida, take a couple weeks off in Florida, then go back through St. Louis, Kansas City, around in the Midwest, lower Midwest, like New Orleans, Texas, around in there, St. Louis, and then take some more time off, and then do the whole West Coast, right? And do the L.A. again, and San Diego, and Portland, and Vancouver, and
So here you are,
then
hitting
Japan. And
hitting it
again.
really big and a high level of commercial acceptance, and you're working harder than you ever have
That's right. Well, you got to do that. Yeah.
to stay
It doesn't
on
get
time.
easier. Certainly doesn't get easier. I mean, this is an exception, though. I mean, we made a pledge that we would never play 2 shows again, and that was that was right after we found out that on the last tour they had booked about 8 places with 2 shows a night. You know, that just the only reason we do that is to avoid going into a larger hall. You know, like in Boston, it's either play a nice place, an Orpheum Theater, about 4,000, or the Boston Garden, which is a stinker and is, you know, 12 or 13,000 or something.
Use it for fighting or something.
Yeah, so you go, well, we're going to play this place and it'll sound like shit for sure. You know it is, you know. Or do you want to play 2 shows? Because we don't have the time. We've got to go into the next city. We've got to go, blah, 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 blah. So we go, okay. Oh, God.
We give up. We'll do it. Oh, no.
And so that's what we said this time. Well, we're going to play the Roxy 2 shows a night. Oh, man. And so I said, well, okay, you know. We didn't want to have to. We wanted to do it just a straight show, you know. We just wanted to play, and we didn't want to have pressure of a big, you know. You go to the Greek theater and just it doesn't. It's not as easy, you know. You just stand there and play. It's
So
got to
you're
be
gonna get,
gradual.
by the time you get over to England, are you going to have the
Well,
more of a stage show planned?
Yeah, kinda. I mean, we're gonna be working on production more than we've been doing. I'm not gonna commit to how far we'll go. We always go too far and then have to stop and go, hold it.
No, this is not what we
We're
meant.
getting carried away here again. Stop.
More of the steps in one
Rewind,
direction than the steps
rewind.
back.
Yep. So, but yeah, we'll begin working on that too, and so it looks good. Looks good. We're gonna work hard, but you know, you get fat if you sit at home and don't work.
So
Eat
it's gonna be
popcorn all day.
a real nice year for you, it looks. Looks like you have everything sort of planned out along the line. And
We kind of put it
1980 is
together
going to be a
finally.
good year for you.
It looks good. I hope it continues to. Then I just heard on the radio the other day, well, we're going to expect a major recession in 1980. Some old lady, right, predicts recession.
Go and get her. She could start the
We just had
rumor.
one.
We could be in trouble shortly afterward.
No, it's not going to happen.
The earthquake is this
But
year too,
even
right?
Yeah, wasn't the
whenever we've
earthquake
had
January 1st? The guy bet $5,000.
yeah, $5,000 at the Vegas. I don't remember which casino.
I
put
missed
up.
it.
But 70 to 1, the odds they gave him, 70 to 1. Can you believe that? I would have figured, 1,000 to 1, 2,000, 70 to 1 for an earthquake.
He's a
during those
loser.
certain hours.
Sorry. Also, the guy who bet $250 at 250 to 1 that Tampa Bay would win the Super Bowl, he's a loser too. Sorry.
Yeah, you heard
Maybe
all those last year, right?
we heard all those.
The
Yeah.
last week, I mean.
Last week, oh, this guy, man, you heard, and then just rumors swept. Sorry, I'm sure there's some guy who probably bet the same thing on the Rams.
And he's
No, they don't
smiling
like
now.
that. Yeah, he's smiling now, but he'll be a loser too. I'm sorry.
Thanks for dropping by so much.
Hey, it's okay, man.
Yeah.
We're on our way to the airport. It's time to go to Phoenix.
Go to fly
Phoenix
away.
is real nice this time of year. This is the only time to go there. Forget the summer. Forget it.
Isn't it going to be awfully cold, isn't it?
No, it doesn't get that cold. It gets to maybe 40s, the high 30s, maybe at night. And in the day, it's gorgeous and everything is green. It's amazing.
Nice.
That's the only reason you could live there for so many years, like we did, is for the other time, other than the summertime. It was great.
And it gets how hot there during the summer?
Oh man, 120, man.
Oh, Lord.
120.
That's where the Gila monsters hang out, isn't it?
Yeah. They're called Gila monsters,
Gila,
however.
Gila. Well,
But it's
Especially when you're eating jalapeno peppers.
yeah, jalapeno.
well, it's been fun, man. Thanks.
Right.
Cool.
If you could just go ahead and do a quick ID for us so we could drop in. Hi, the same craziness.
Okay. Okay, this is KROQ, and very shortly you'll be listening to an interview with me, V. Waybill of the Tubes, and it's real. There's a lot of good stuff, a lot of secret stories, and you'll love it. I know you will, so tune in.
Okay, and one just general hi, this is whoever the Tubes you're listening to, KROQ-FM Pasadena. Just a general hugga-bugga that we
Yeah.
Drop over you play this song.
Yeah, just a regular ID. You want
Yeah,
just
straight.
hey, one of those like, hey, this is Fee Waybill of the Tubes, and you lucky guys and gals are listening to KROQ in Pasadena.
That's it.
Didn't do the numbers again.
What numbers? Oh yeah.
106.9.